But to look your enemy in the eye, knowing you'll remember his face for the rest of your life, now that takes a stomach much stronger than you'll ever have.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gull Gaming. Today I want to start a new segment called Old School Cool, and what we're going to do today is we are going to look at the pedigree of some games from the past. Games that have made us excited about our modern day games. What are we looking forward to at the moment, ladies and gentlemen? Well, today I want to talk about Chris Roberts, and I want to talk about Star Citizen for a little bit. Are we excited about Star Citizen? Let me know below in the comments. Star Citizen right now has raised about $53 million US, so there are a lot of people out there who are very, very excited. And it's got something along the lines of 600,000 backers. That means there are 600,000 people primed and ready to play who have bought into the idea of Star Citizen. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, why? Why are people so excited about something? Well, we have to look to the past for that, and we have to look to Chris Roberts and his pedigree. Now, many of you are buying into the idea of this free open world where you can get into your cockpit and do whatever you like. And why is that? Well, we're going to look back to 2003 to start with, to Freelancer. Freelancer was an open world game that was also highly story driven. You had two aspects to it. You could follow a beautiful arching storyline, or you could go free. You could do your trading. You could go to whatever system you wanted at any given time. It was fantastic, and it was open. The graphics at the time were fantastic, and we really enjoyed that game. You'll be seeing a little bit of it on screen now. I'm sure you remember it with really nice vivid memories of the first time you picked up that game. But before that, there was Starlancer. This was a heavily story-driven game, but again, you had your similar Starfighter mechanics to the game. But what came before that, ladies and gentlemen? And that's what I want to talk about in Old School Cool. What started my personal love affair with Chris Roberts was a game called Wing Commander 3. This was released back in 1994, I believe, way back when we were using DOS computers back then for the best part, and the graphics, well, they were limited. You had VGA or SVGA back in the day. Remember the old Sound Blaster cards? Yep. That's what we had in our computers. Our computers were pretty basic, the graphics were pretty basic. In fact, Wing Commander 3 was one of the first games to use polygonal graphics in the way that it did. Prior to that, it was using a different type of graphics engine for Wing Commander 1 and 2. And they had to go back to basics with their flight models and with their ship models in order to make Wing Commander 3. But it felt so good, ladies and gentlemen, at the time, to me personally, and it was what really made me want to buy into the Starfighter games that we're seeing a lot of today. Of course, Star Citizen isn't the only one that's out. Elite Dangerous, we'll probably cover the Elite series in another episode if you want me to. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to see a little bit of Wing Commander 3 in all its SVGA pixelated glory? I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
puny contingent of their soldiers has been captured here on Kilra.
This incursion was an act of desperation. The hairless apes now flail about knowing that they are beaten. They have failed their race utterly. There will be no interrogation.
Do what you will with them.
Disintegration. Silence. My brethren, they are not warriors, but maggots. Only one of them is worthy of being treated as a warrior. The one they call Angel. Still defiant, if we were to offer coexistence with your kind, would you not accept it?
The Kilrati do not coexist.
No, and now that the tide has turned in this war, your defiance is a pathetic and useless gesture.
You bore me, monsieur. Disintegrate me so I might join my comrades.
Disintegration is not for you. Your fate will be different. The human cannot appreciate the honor that I am about to bestow her. She is not only a great warrior, but her lair mate is the heart of the tiger.
Rest in peace.
Peace. Have we ever known anything like that, Paladin?
Not for a long time, laddie.
First the tiger's claw, now this.
Enough. You are not to blame for either.
Some would disagree. This is Colonel Christopher Blair. Report to Admiral Talwyn. The wreckage of the Concordia has been located on Vespus off the Mistral coast. Evaluation. Total loss.
You can't live your life for the approval of one man.
Any word from Angel?
None.
Is that the official line?
I know how much she means to you, laddie.
Sir, did you say the victory?
Is there something wrong with your hearing, Colonel?
No, sir. It's just that
The TCS Victory is a fine carrier with a long history of service to the Confederation.
Yes, sir. A very long history, sir.
Ship assignments aren't open to debate, Colonel. Of course, I realize that the accommodations may not be what you're quite used to.
Well, sir, I didn't mean to suggest that.
The Victory will benefit greatly from having a wing commander of your stature and experience.
Thank you, sir. But can't we at least discuss the...
Now that we have the Kilrathi on the run in both the Gardel and Morpheus systems, I can afford to shift you to the Victory in Orsini. I am trying to tell you, Colonel, is that things are looking up. The Confederation has been making some very positive strides. Dismissed.
Sir, about my request.
Yes. But it came as a bit of a surprise to me. As you know, Colonel Devereaux's status is on a need-to-know basis. Your shuttle is waiting.
Yes, sir.
Despite recent losses in several densely populated sectors, Confederation spokespeople insist that humanity maintains the upper hand in its galactic struggle with the Kilrathi. However, our sources document a consistent underreporting of Kilrathi incursions, as well as civilian and industrial losses. There are even reports of Confed plans for a doomsday evacuation of Earth, replanting the seeds of humanity in a distant galaxy. The question is, who would go? Who would be left behind? And most importantly, who is making these decisions?
Welcome to the TCS Victory, Colonel.
Thank you, Captain.
Better known as Tin Can Sally.
It warms my heart to see you again, Colonel. But I must excuse myself now, as your duty here takes precedence over our catching up on old times.
Thank you, Hobbs. We'll talk later.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. She's no Concordia.
Well, neither's a Concordia anymore.
Yeah, terrible loss. My sympathies. However, you're in my home now, and I'll expect you to wipe your feet every time you come in. I've been with the Victory most of my career. I was communications officer during a maiden voyage.
Well, sir, I'll admit I wasn't looking forward to the assignment, but now that I see you have a pilot as fine as Ralganar Hollis on your crew...
Hobbs? Yes, he's my second in command.
He's not flying?
At his request. I know all about his exploits with you, Colonel, but here no one will fly with a Kilrathi on his wing.
What about his exemplary record? That must stand for something.
It was his request.
Captain Eisen, I'm not going to tell you how to run your ship, but I am going to insist that Hobbs is reinstated to the flight roster immediately.
Well, that's admirable, Colonel, but who...
I will, sir. I'll fly with him. He's the best wingman I've ever had.
Come in, Colonel. Time to put that reputation of yours to the test. Confed intelligence tells us that the Karathi presence is growing here in the Orsini system. You and your wingman are to fly routine patrol of these 3 zones, sweep the area of any hostiles you may encounter. Understood?
Completely, sir. So, these are the mission objectives. Oh, and one last thing. Hobbs, you're on my wing for this one. Dismissed, and good luck. TCS victory.
Excellent work, Colonel. I can see now that your reputation is well deserved.
You're cleared for landing, Colonel. You really smoked him, Colonel.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It's brought back a lot of memories for me. It's dated now. You know, you can see every pixel, but the fact that it had a true story thread on the go, and you had lots of kind of story-based movies, I guess, involved within the plot line and the mesh line, and you could actually travel around the inside of your own ship when you weren't in the fighter's cockpit, and you could talk to the characters that you saw there. There's a lot of very famous people who actually played in Wing Commander 3. Admiral Tolwyn there, I'm sure you'll all recognise. He is an extremely famous sci-fi actor, and he's been in so many programs. Also in the opening movie there, you saw Gimli, son of Gloin. You might also recognise him from the TV program Sliders, and of course Luke Skywalker, or Mark Hamill, depending on what you want to call him, is the main character in there. These are really famous actors, and they lent themselves to Chris Roberts to make these games. Mark Hamill appears again, in fact, in Wing Commander Prophecy, which we might take a look at in the future, because that was a big step forward for that particular genre of fighter games. Around the same time as Wing Commander 3, you also got one of my favourite games of all time, TIE Fighter. We might look at that in another episode as well, because it allows us to broaden our horizons a bit. We can look at X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, we can look at some of the other Star Wars games such as Rogue Squadron. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed seeing the old school cool pixelated graphics of Doom, then do like and subscribe, do comment on this, tell me which old school cool got you into your favourite genre, and I will cover them for you. I will show you a little bit of why people are excited about games now, and I will show us all how far we've come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gul Dukat, out.